Today I'm going to be attempting to build an NCAA football team that goes 16-0. However, due to certain restrictions, this is not going to be easy. I'm taking over the Arkansas Razorbacks, but they're going to be in the newly stacked SEC, and I'm only allowed to recruit players from Arkansas. On top of this, I can only play 3 regular season games a year, so I have to build a stacked team because Sim will decide how the rest of them go. I have no clue how I'm going to complete this challenge, but if I fail to go 16-0 with them, I'll be giving away tickets to any college football game next season that you all want, which could end up being a huge disaster for me. Lastly, if you're wondering how I'm going to get to 16 games in a season, I'll be adding in the 18 playoff to this dynasty, and now it's time to get into the challenge. So to start out, I'm only able to recruit players from Arkansas, and it looks like I have 30 to choose from. There are a couple 4-stars in this class, which is huge for us, and it looks like they're interested, so this might not be too bad. Clearly, we're going to have to go all in to get Patrick Randolph, and there's a couple other players like Seth Dortch and Dwight Johnson, which would be great additions to the team. I am also going to go through and redshirt people. Brent Walker as a freshman is huge for us. That means we don't have to worry about a quarterback. It also looks like there's a sophomore halfback. And you know what? This team actually has a lot of talent. However, the schedule is looking brutal from the jump, so I'm going to have to use one of the 3 games in the opener. KJ Jefferson is a senior, and this team does have a lot of really good players. So I'm not going to write off the fact that I could complete this challenge in year 1 if I play my cards right. Obviously, it has taken me a little bit to get the offense going, but I'm hoping we can start to score now. And that is a dot that was dropped. How do you drop that ball? I'm telling you all, this rain has caused all of these receivers to not play very well today. And once we lose 1 game in a season, the entire thing is over, so we can't fall to Texas. I'm not gonna lie, this team might not be as good as I thought they were. Quinn Ewers is just having his way today, and there's just no one that can get any pressure in. Well, this is going to do it. We are going to have to sim to year number 2 already. Losing this early on is not good, but at least now I can solely focus on recruiting. These are the first 9 players that I'm going to be targeting this year, and I need to get some coaching upgrades fast. The longer it takes to get them, the harder it's going to be for me to recruit this season, and it also doesn't help that we haven't won yet. At least we got it by a lot against Kent State, and so far we are leading on our top 2 players, but North Texas is beating us out for Dwight Johnson. I don't see any chance that we lose to them, but I guess we're going to have to see. And I'm going to schedule everyone against Alabama, because if we can win that one, surely everyone will commit. I also realized I can use one of the 3 games I play a year to go into that game. So with all of these prospects ready to visit, I'm about to go try hard. Okay, if we're going to stand any chance in this one, I have got to start us off with a touchdown, but drops are going to make it impossible to do so. And I'm just glad we should get points at least on this next drive. KJ Jefferson's got us down the field. He's rolling out. And he has someone in the end zone, and it's the other team. Wonderful. All I want to do is get a win so these visiting recruits will commit, but I don't know if it's going to be possible, and if I'm learning anything, it's that the SEC is going to be hard to go undefeated in. I really don't see how I'm going to be able to go 16-0 with this team. KJ Jefferson misses the pass. And you know what? Beating Alabama was never meant to be, so we'll see how many of those recruits actually committed to the school. It's just continuing to get worse and worse. Cut this game. I do not want to talk about it at all. Well, apparently a lot of these guys just want to help out the program because we just got a ton of commits, and I don't even care that we didn't get like a 58 overall corner and a 62 overall linebacker because we got 80 overall Patrick Randolph. Now I'm just going to sim the rest of the season, and you know what? I will take going 7-5 in year 1. We even won the Birmingham Bowl, and it's time to try to build a team that can go 16-0. Losing a 78 overall freshman safety would be heartbreaking, but he is not going to stay. He's going to Vanderbilt, which can't possibly be better. We are getting a 61 overall to replace him, and I'm just hoping I can land some of these guys in the final recruiting period to make up for it. I also do have 8 coach points to spend, so I'm going to do that to make sure we can get as many good players as possible, and hopefully we end up landing these 2 players. Thank goodness we ended up getting both of them, and all in all, with only recruiting players from Arkansas, we finished with the 33rd best class in the nation. You know what? The state was incredibly kind to us this past year, and this roster probably won't go 16-0, but it's honestly not that terrible. It's time to get into year number 2, and it's time for the moment of truth. How many players do we have to recruit? Only 19. This could be rough. What players are available? A defensive end, a corner, and a halfback. Yet none of these guys are interested in coming to the school. I don't know how we're going to get anybody. The worst part is we need to get a kicker, and unfortunately, not one of these guys that I can go after is one. The only good news is I can redshirt some of the best players, and I just have to hope that future recruiting classes are a lot better. It looks like we're projected to finish 3rd in the SEC, so you know what? Maybe this could be our year. I'm going to play against Texas again, and this time hopefully get the win. Malik Hornsby is our quarterback this season, and so far far, from what I've seen from him, he seems to be pretty decent. He can make pretty much any throw, and whether or not we win this game should come down to my skill on Heisman. I think we're going to be the first team to at least get a touchdown, which is good news. There we go. And I think my biggest problem today is going to be stopping Quinn Ewers. Now, we do have a chance to end the first half with a bang. We're already up by 4. If we get another touchdown, we'll be up 11, and I'm just going to let this clock wind down. And now with about 10 seconds left, I'm going to try to score. The halfback angle route is open. AJ Green gets into the end zone, and since this is the last season I have a kicker that's going to be over 60 overall, I'm going to use him. At this point, we're like one run away from sealing the game. Come on, Sanders, get the first down, and he's going to go for more. What a player. Thank goodness we beat Texas this year, but on the recruiting side of things, it is going to be a very rough year, so I'm just going to hope we can go on a run. I am going to have to sim this one. I don't want to use the second game I can play of the year against BYU, and thank goodness we got the win. The undefeated season is alive, and we are sitting at number 8 in the country, but I feel like I have to play at Oklahoma, so hopefully this is a great use of the second game of the year. That play action faked them out, and that is a great throw. I am glad we are starting off this game with a touchdown, and you know what? I'm just going to let Raheem Sanders cook. He's like a 99 overall, which is making this offense perform way better than it probably should be. Hornsby throws a touchdown, and boys, so far so good. We're going up 23-6, and I'd say it was definitely worth it to step in and make sure we won this one. It was honestly a blowout, and Raheem Sanders carried us. I do feel like we got to start simming though at this point. I can only play one more game this year. We do beat Kentucky by 28, and our play must be intriguing these recruits because on everybody that I can see, we do have a lead. Now, there's no telling if it'll continue, but I'm going to schedule everyone against Ole Miss, and if we win that game, we're going to get all of these crappy players in this terrible recruiting class. However, if we go 16-0 this year, the whole challenge and video will be over, so it won't even matter. We do beat Texas A&M, along with hopefully taking down Missouri. Come on, boys, we got to get it, and we do. 6-0 already, no sign of losing anytime soon. We should beat James Madison, and are you serious right now? This challenge might be impossible. NCAA football always makes you lose a random game in sim when you shouldn't, but at least we've landed all of these recruits, and I'm just ready to go ahead and get into year number 3. I honestly cannot believe it. This team went 11-1, and literally the only loss was the one game I simmed against James Madison. What are the odds of that? I don't get this at all, man. We're going to go ahead and lose in the conference championship, but this video was already so close to being over, and now there's a good chance that we never do that well again. I mean, nobody wants to transfer in, and I'm only recruiting players from Arkansas, which got us the 33rd best class for the second year in a row. I am excited to see how sophomore quarterback Brent Walker does, but the fact we have a 0-star kicker is really depressing. This is what the schedule is looking like going into year number 3, and I'm hoping that this will be the best recruiting class yet. Out of Arkansas, there's 23 players, and we have only one 4-star. There isn't a single kicker on this list either, so I'm just glad I found 2 gems in not one, but 2 different players. That's going to be huge, and I'm ready to get into the season with this 95 overall team. I don't like that I have to play against Texas again, but it always seems to be the opener, and it's so important that we get off to a good start, especially because the sophomore Brent Walker has not been very good so far. With 3 interceptions in just the first quarter, I'm starting to wonder how good this guy really is. Hopefully he can finally get a little bit comfortable, and hopefully he can turn it around for us. It does look like this drive is going well. That's going to get us down to the 1, and obviously we're going to score from there. The unfortunate part about having like a 57 overall kicker is we have to go for it on 4th down here, and even though we got it, if we had someone decent back there, we'd at least be able to get some points for free, but now we got to try to get a touchdown, and it is not going to come easy, but I'm determined. Brett Walker, get out there. Throw a laser, and there's your 4th pick of the day. Wonderful. If the comeback is ever going to start, it is going to have to be now, and everything, and I mean everything, has to go perfectly. We don't get the 2, which is just going to make it even harder to come back. I think Texas is going to score again, and yeah, this one is pretty much over. I cannot believe this is how the first game went, especially because I played in it, but you know what? Eventually, we are going to go 16-0. The only wins we can take from this season would be recruiting based, and now that I can dump more points into it, I should be able to get every single guy that I have on the recruiting board. Honestly, the season is going terribly so far, so I'm going to have to step in. I'm going to schedule a bunch of recruits for this Texas A&M game and hopefully turn the season around for us. Brent Walker's literally 38 for 116 this season, and no wonder we have been losing so much. I'm going to fix it though, boys. Do not worry. He is only going to throw dots with me. I do not want this team to lose for any longer, and now we're going up 28-21. With a minute left, all we need is one more stop. I am run committing. Get in that hole. Oh, of course he pushes forward. We just couldn't give him good D there, but now they're taking their sweet time, and we're locking up. All we need is a couple more stops. Come on. You can throw it to the running back all day. Oh no. I lost him as my man. No, they did not just bomb us like that. You've got to be kidding me. I thought we had the win in the bag there, but now we have to go down the field and score, which is going to be difficult, but he breaks a tackle. Keep going, Mbake. Keep on going. You're down to the 20, and you're still not in our kicker's range, but that's okay because we're getting closer, and that is a dot. Of course he doesn't hold on to it, but I feel like we only need a few more yards here. We are going to get it. Wilson's going to get into the end zone, and the season is turning around. Now, obviously, I'm going to sim the rest of it, but I just wanted to give us a great chance at landing all of these recruits, and it worked wonders, boys. Look at all of these new commits. Obviously, this year did not go like I thought it would, but Brent Walker didn't do too bad, and I'm just glad I'm not fully on the hot seat yet. I honestly don't know how Brent Walker is getting any draft hype, but I'm hoping I can convince him to stay. He is willing to do so, and I also need to convince Sam Mbake to stay, and he's going to as well. It would have definitely been devastating to lose both of those guys to the draft, and even though I think this is the best recruiting class I've gotten yet, it is ranked 41st in the country. If we're ever going to go 16-0, I think this has to be our best chance to do it, but it's going to be hard to do with the worst special teams unit in the country. It took years, but we're finally not playing Texas in the opener, and I just need there to be at least one guy that can be a kicker in the state of Arkansas this season. Please tell me there's somebody. I do see that there's a 5-star recruit, but there's still no kicker. And you know what? I'm going to stop complaining because look at this. This is the best recruiting class that has ever come through the state. And maybe the future is brighter than we think. Almost every freshman is going to be getting redshirted at this point. And we should start the season with a win. We're hosting Kent State. And thank goodness we win by 14. Brent Walker got off to an amazing start, and hopefully that'll get some of these big name recruits to commit to the program. In week 2, I think we're going to be Eastern Michigan, hopefully so. How'd they score 45 on us? You know what? I won't complain. I'll take the win, and I'm going to have to jump in against Oklahoma. Here on 3rd and 7 early on, Brett Walker's going to find the running back, but he's going to drop it. So because of the rain, I have to use this atrocious kicker. I think we are going to find the end zone here, though. There's an open receiver, and that's a terrible throw. Hopefully, Brett Walker can actually make something happen this time, and he's going for Patrick Randolph, who makes his first catch. I had yet to see the 4-star that we recruited in year 1, but he's finally out there, and he's honestly pretty good. I'm hoping we can end the half with another touchdown. No one really is open here. I'm going to have to take off with Brent Walker, and he's going to get down to the 1. So you know we're going to wind the clock down to the final second of the half, and we're gonna get in the end zone. From there, we just ended up playing better. And I'm not saying this is gonna be the year we go 16-0, but I think this team has a chance. Our running backs are incredible, and we're on a bit of a hot streak. We do have College game day at Texas, and hopefully we get the win, which we do by 9 points. Brent Walker is apparently number 1 for Heisman odds right now, and even though I can only play 2 more of these games on our schedule, I feel like I have to hop into the Texas A&M one. A few minutes into it, nobody's been able to score yet, but Brent Walker's gonna find Bradford in the end zone, and that's going to be the first touchdown of the day. Honestly, I think this Arkansas team is really good. This should be another touchdown, 21-0, and we are just blowing their backs out. This is crazy. I mean, 64-21 is absurd, and that win alone is already getting players to commit. At this point, if we lose any of these future games, I'm going to be crushed. And now we're sitting as a top 5 team, so surely we won't lose to Miami, right? 63-44. I was not expecting our undefeated run to end like that, and apparently this team just wasn't as good as I thought it was. I mean, we gave Mississippi State their only win of the season, and the only positive takeaway I have is we landed every recruit that we wanted. We also did make the conference championship, which we did end up losing by 3 in overtime, but Brent Walker won the Heisman, and I'm ready to lie to get him to stay. Let's see what it's going to take. I'm going to start out. We're going to guarantee him a national title, and he says he thinks he needs another year to develop his skills. He is staying in Arkansas, and even though we're losing a ton of great players, the 11th best recruiting class in the country, with all players that are only from the state of Arkansas, is coming in. I think we're honestly getting better as a team, and even though we have a 56 overall kicker, I think this is the year we go 16-0. If we don't though, the recruiting class in Arkansas this year is looking pretty solid, and I feel like I'm getting closer and closer to making the undefeated season happen. Since Vanderbilt is our first opponent, I do feel comfortable in simming this one, and we only won by 3. But at the end of the day, a win's a win, and we get another against North Texas. In fact, I'm so confident in this team, I'm going to sim our game against Texas. I don't want to waste one of the 3, and we're going to get the win. I mean, we've had an amazing start, but with 3 ranked opponents coming up next, I'm going to have to sim against Oklahoma as well, and we take a loss. You've got to be kidding me right now. We're going to have to go into season number 6, and I should have just played that game. Now the only thing that we really can have going for us is me scheduling visits for all of these recruits, and after wasting Brent Miller's senior season, season. The only positive is I kept all of the kids from Arkansas in the state. I did get a 6-year extension though, so the challenge is not over yet, but I really don't want to lose Brent Walker. So especially with the 54th best recruiting class in the country, it's going to be hard for Sean Bennett to replace him. Starting out with 8 straight SEC games is a setup for disaster, so I feel like I should probably start recruiting the next class of players, and there's 30 in here. This could be a very good one. There's only 2 4-stars. There are some athletes though, which is a good look. And it doesn't seem to be a single kicker still, which is so weird. I guess the special teams unit will always be terrible, but there are some very enticing prospects here. And if we lose, I'm honestly okay with it because I know I can build from that core of guys I just saw. We won by 20 here, so maybe this team is better than I thought, but I'm not going to jump into a game yet. And when we traveled to Ole Miss, we ended up winning by 42. All of a sudden, I have a little faith in this team, and if we win the Southwest Classic, I'm definitely going to have to jump in. That's an overtime victory, so it's time to take on LSU. This is Patrick Randolph's senior year, and I'm pretty sure he's the best player on this roster, so my plan is to just feed him the ball, and it's working. Sean Barnett's honestly not that bad either. He can throw dots, and I think we're going to actually have a lead going into the half. I'm trying to thread the needle. They aren't going to catch it, and one of the worst kickers I've ever seen is going to come on and drill the 30-yarder. Since then, though, nobody else has scored, and now there's only about a minute and a half left, so if we can lock up one final time like we've been doing all half, we should be fine, and it all comes down to one last play. They're going to throw it to the sidelines, so we can just run out the rest of the clock and leave 4-0. I think it's pretty safe to say this team has potential, and maybe I'm not learning from last season, but I'm going to sim against Oklahoma anyway, and this time, we're going to get the win. Of all the teams I've had, I sure did not think this one would be the best, but we're beating Missouri, and going into the Texas game, we're still undefeated. However, that might not last for very long, because so far, I have struggled at Texas, and I'm just going to send up a prayer at this point. It's going to get intercepted. You've got to be kidding me. No one's even close. Yeah, I can't get to him. That's 24-0. Boys, I think the undefeated dream is gone already. Oh, there's no time in the pocket. That's an amazing catch, but I might need to build this team up for a little bit longer. It's already 24-0. Maybe we can pull off a comeback, but if we're being completely honest, it is probably not likely. This should be a touchdown, though. That's a dot, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to pull it off. This only makes it 3 possessions, and we do have a chance to bring it within 2 here, but it's just not very likely. There's no offensive lineman, so I'm probably going to have to rely on scrambling here on 4th down, and Sean Barnett is just fast enough. It looks like they are pressing the receivers here, but I can't get the throw off, and the backup is in. What a disaster this has turned out to be. Can he make that throw? It's going to be picked off. This one is over. The season done. And we did get an interception, but please don't give me any false hope at this point in the game. Well, with 3.5 minutes left, I don't really know what I'm going with here, but we are not out of the game yet, boys. It is not over. Now, it might take a miracle, but there is a chance, and a chance is all we can ask for. I just wish I would have played better so we wouldn't be in such a bad position here, but that throw was right on the money, and I'm going to go for 2. If we somehow get the ball back, I want to get the win, and hold on to this, please. Come on. That's not going to be the end of the world, but it makes it harder to win, and I am really trusting my defense here. I think I forgot to burn a timeout. Oh my gosh. Well, I can use it now, and we might as well just run commit here. Make the tackle, come on. Somebody take him down. Are you kidding me? Well, on to season like number 7, boys. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. We won every other game besides that. They went 11-1. This could have so easily been the year. I just hope we're not losing too many starters. We're going to have to say goodbye to Patrick Randolph, if you all remember him. But we did bring in the 34th best recruiting class in the country, along with getting a new offensive coordinator with 24 skill points. This is going to boost all of our teams overall massively. As you can see, like right here, I can put all of these upgrades on speed, acceleration, strength, and awareness. You know what? This team honestly isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, and I'm just going to hope they can go on a run in Season 7. I guess the last thing I got to check before we get into it is who's on the recruiting board, and oh my goodness. Maybe if we don't win it all, we could get some star offensive studs. This is incredible. Like, this recruiting class is honestly stacked with a ton of depth, so I honestly won't even be upset if this isn't our year. In our first game against Mississippi State, I'm just going to sim it, and we are going to win by 7. After that, we have our rivalry against Ole Miss, and I probably should step into this one, but I'm confident, and we're going to win again, so I must be making the right decisions in what I'm doing so far. Now, obviously, I'm going to want to play that game at Death Valley, but we had to beat Texas A&M first. And after a loss last week, the Tigers aren't even ranked anymore, but both teams are 88 overall, and I feel like it's very important we play this game on the road. This is looking like a solid start down to the 50, and I think Roy Gordon is going to get us into the end zone here. He has a wide open receiver, and He misses the throw completely. We should not be the team getting scored on first. But you know what? This is the team that I built, and if Roy Gordon is no good, that is my fault. He is going to get us not into the end zone, and I just want to finally score with this team, man. We should not be held to 0 points with this little time left in the quarter. I should have just scrambled there, and of course, he's not getting up now. Whatever, I'm going for it on 4th down. I don't know why every game I have to step into has to go this badly, and maybe I'd be better off just simming it all. Roy Gordon is out for the season, and that means we're going to have to rely on senior quarterback Derek Pryor to win it all for us, to keep us undefeated. He is a little bit quick, but apparently, he's injury prone too, because now the 3rd string quarterback is in, and he is throwing dots, but there was only so much he could do. He wasn't good enough to score after that. So once again, we failed to go 16-0, and I'm going to give myself like 3 more seasons to complete the challenge, but obviously if I can't do that, I'm going to have to give away tickets. And I guess due to injuries, we ended up going 5-7, so I'm just glad all the guys I wanted to get to the program ended up committing. It does look like our 2 best defensive tackles are trying to leave the program early, but I'm going to tell them that they should stay, get their college degree, their education's important, and both of them are going to stay. I also only got 19 recruits in this class, which is normally a little bit low, but it ended up getting us into the top 15, and I can confidently say the future here is incredibly bright. We've definitely been blessed by these recent recruiting classes out of the state, so I wasn't expecting anything special here, and there isn't really any crazy talent, but there is a kicker and a punter. This is huge. I've waited like 8 seasons for this, and there is one other good player, Jeremy Mooney. He's a 76 overall tight end, and if we landed him, that would be great. Now, to start the year, we are going to have to play against number 1 Georgia, so obviously, I'm going to jump into it, and now that Roy Gordon's collarbone is healed, he is coming in as a senior that'll hopefully get the job done. In all honesty, I have not done a good job on defense so far, but we are scoring, so if our walk-on kicker can hit this field goal, we'll go into the half tied. He is a senior now, and it is just far enough. I feel like everything is finally starting to come together with this team, and we're actually going to have a lead on the Bulldogs. With about 2 minutes left, we have the ball in field goal range, and I think we're going to get a touchdown here. Never mind, I just ran out the entire clock, and this is going for the win. We actually beat number 1 Georgia, and I feel like I have to play in week 2 as well, but there's way too many road ranked games ahead on the schedule, so I'm going to have to sim, and we're going to beat Florida by 1 point. I don't think you all realize like how good the new SEC is going to be. Hopefully we beat Oklahoma, which we do by 17, but I'm going to have to step in at Texas, and so far, so good. We're honestly playing really well. Come on. Roy Gordon, end the half with a bang, scramble, get down to the 5, and I'll gladly take a 10-point lead. I feel like at this point I have played Texas so many times, but they always seem to be really good, and I can't believe I let them get back into this thing, but we need to get a stop here, and I'm going to have to be okay with them tying it up by taking their 3. There is still time for a money drive though, and that's what we're going to have to hope for. I'm going to need a lucky route bounce. Roy Gordon throws it up, and he finds the receiver. What a huge play that was. I'm just going to throw it up with him again. Can he come down with it? Oh my gosh, what a play. In the span of just 2 plays, Roy Gordon has changed everything, and I can't believe Texas isn't icing us. Come on, please kick it far enough. It's a 40-yarder, and it's good. We are going to stay undefeated. And at this point, I can only hop into 1 more game a year. It's either going to have to be LSU or Texas A&M right now, and I'm going to go ahead and play at Kyle Field. So far, everything's gone pretty well. I am going to take off with Roy Gordon here. He's going to give us the lead, and his ability to scramble is extremely underrated. It's able to make up great plays like this, and we're so close to closing out this game against the Aggies. All we need is 1 more defensive stop, and we got to make it happen. So it would be super helpful to tackle them in bounds here, get the hit. That's big. And that is the exact play we needed to motivate this team. They're throwing it up. It's a miscue. And it all comes down to this. 4th and 6. They're going with a couple slants. I'm trusting the zones. Come on, guys. You can't give that up. Unfortunately, the Aggies are still alive, and we got to get a tackle in bounds here. Of course, their running back breaks 1. He breaks 2. Come on. Well, it is not looking good. I think we're going to have to go down and get a money drive of our own. And all I can do is hope we hold them on these last 2 plays, and he gets in. But I accidentally simmed the 2-point conversion. They didn't get it, and we're going to leave with a win. I still can't believe I accidentally just skipped such a huge play, but we're going to have to rely on sim anyway for like the next 7 games. So hopefully it pays off. At Missouri, we win by 7, and we have a few cupcake matches after that. So it should be no surprise we're sitting at 9-0 in week 11, but the real question will be, can we finish the regular season undefeated? We need 3 more wins. We're going to take down Ole Miss, and we also beat Mississippi State, which means it all comes down to this. Can we finally finish a regular season undefeated? There we go. We beat LSU by 7, and I can finally step in and play again in the conference championship. We already beat Georgia to open up the year, so I'm hoping we can do it again, and hopefully we can just get the offense going. It's been a bit slow this far, but the end of the half, if I could get into the end zone, that would be amazing, which should happen right here, and it does. I'd also love to start the third quarter with more points, and this might be risky, but I'm going to throw it up. Miller's going to come down with it, and what a play by him. I thought that was an interception for sure, but instead, we're going to be taking the lead on Georgia. I'm hoping we can make up for the missed extra point, and we do. With a minute left, Georgia is threatening to score a touchdown. We are in some trouble. They're going to score, so we're going to have to go the length of the field and get a touchdown of our own. Those are some amazing blocks starting at the 30, and Roy Gordon has everything to prove at this point. We're going to get a nice 15 first, and I will definitely take that. The tight end might have been open there, but I might just throw it deep. Sullivan holds on to it. That's perfect. And time is ticking, but we are getting closer and closer to the end zone. I can't take a sack here. That was a terrible look. Oh my gosh, the tight end's open though. That's a laser. Gilbert, get in. What a throw from Roy Gordon. He should be the reason we stay undefeated and win the SEC championship. Come on, just check it down, and it's all going to come down to this last play. They're throwing up the Hail Mary. I'm not too worried about it. Come on, someone knock it down. That is it, and the 16-0 season is still a real possibility. Roy Gordon didn't end up winning the Heisman, but it doesn't matter because we finally made the playoffs, and we're just a couple games away from the championship. And after playing SEC defenses all of these years, it feels so much better to be playing against a Big 12 one, because even though things have not been great for us defensively, I just don't see any way that we lose this game. I mean, in all honesty, Baylor's done their best to stay in it, but since we've scored 41 points, it's hard for them to win, and oh my gosh, that's it. That is it. What a huge hit that was. That'll seal the deal for us. That's amazing. We're going on to the semifinals, and our next opponent will be 12-2 UCLA. I'm not gonna lie, so far it really hasn't gone well for us. I'm missing tackles, and Roy Gordon really hasn't made any great throws yet. This could be the one though. Is that a dot? It is. What a catch by Robert Huff. I don't know how he pulled that in. That was a bit of an underthrow, but it's a touchdown. I honestly feel like that one game changed the entire game for us. Now we're going to be tying it up and hopefully keeping it that way going into the half. We get a sack, and I might as well call a timeout. With 19 seconds left, we can still get points on the board. I mean, their punter has quite the boot. Of course he fumbles it. I was so optimistic, but now it's really hard to beat. I am just going to throw this one up, see what we can do before the end of the half, and we're going to turn it over. Not great momentum, but it is tied at 14, and I think we're going to take a lead on this drive. This would have to be a great throw from Roy Gordon. That's a dot, but they're going to review it anyway. Come on, man. He obviously got a foot in there, so of course, the touchdown's going to stand. I cannot stop UCLA, though. They have moved the ball all the way down the field. They're going to score, and with a minute and a half left, they're still up by 3, so we are going to need a money drive. Roy Gordon gets the throw out, and it's inaccurate. That was unfortunate. He had the receiver. That should have been a pick, and now we are in a tough situation. At least he gets the throw out. It's going to be turned over with a minute left. Come on. At least stop him from getting into the end zone, boys. Please. Fumble! Fumble! We get the ball back! We do not deserve to be in this game at all. What a huge hit from the lineman. That's incredible. I cannot believe we've been given one more chance. Roy Gordon, please make the most of it. Don't take a sack. He fumbles again. Get out of bounds. And I don't know what is going on right now, but I do not like it. I do have an open receiver, though. Oh my gosh. Hold on to it, Sullivan. Get down. Get down to the 45. I know the clock is ticking, but there's still a chance we can get down the field and score a touchdown, which would honestly be huge. I do not want to go into overtime against UCLA. Oh my gosh. Why is Smith wide open? Should I go into the end zone? I'm going to fall down here. Oh, we got in anyway. Well, that means we're going to have to get a defensive stop, and we can't let him get in field goal range because our walk-on kicker missed the extra point. I really got to stop simming them, but it's just a bad habit, and now they're moving the ball fast. I really don't know what to do here. I'm going to try to get in. I'm rushing in. There's no pressure. They check down to the 45, and that's going to force them to attempt the Hail Mary. Hopefully they do not pull this off. I will be so sad if they do. The throw is long enough, but we should knock it down. That's an interception. Tate holds on to it. He fights off one man, and he's down. Ladies and gentlemen, your Razorbacks are going on to the championship, and it looks like we're going to be taking on USC, another Pac-12 team. 16-0 is all going to come down to this, and they're going to score on their first possession. Now, obviously, that is not ideal, but I feel like we can respond back. Roy Gordon has been good, and you know what? Forget going through 2 more seasons. If I don't win it all today, I'm going to fail the challenge. And that is a huge play to Sullivan. However, backup quarterback Singleton is in, and I am not quite sure why. He's going to get a touchdown, but I do not want to have to use him the rest of the game. Apparently, I'm going to have to, though. Roy Gordon is out for good, and I swear, I am the unluckiest person in the world. This always happens to me. At least we're getting the ball back, so it's time to try to fight back in this thing. We should not be trailing by this much. but I haven't played well. Miller makes the grab though, getting us to the 40. And in all honesty, Gabriel Singleton really doesn't seem like he's that bad. I mean, I am going to be risky here and throw it up, see what can happen. And Huff is going to drop it. I mean, he has made every throw I've asked him to so far, and he's going to get us into the end zone here. Jelani Sullivan also just set a career record, and it would be incredible if we could end the half by tying it up. It is possible. This is 3rd and 7. Smith makes a guy miss. He gets the first down. And what an incredible play that was from him. I'm going to keep feeding him the ball. He seems to be good. And I'm just trying to end the first half with a bang. I think there's going to be a deep play here. Oh yeah, Miller is wide open. Get down inside the 5. And now we are on pace to tie it up, which we are going to do. Never mind, I simmed the extra point like I shouldn't have, so we are still down by 1, but this is the drive we score a touchdown, and now I can make up for us never having a good kicker on our team. Also, I don't want to jinx it, but I do think I've figured out something defensively, because ever since USC got off to a 21-7 start, they haven't been able to score, and Sullivan is wide open once again, going down to the 10. I mean, he has been almost unstoppable all season, and we are getting so close to winning a national championship. Singleton is going to run in here, and now we just need to continue getting defensive stops. That's going to be a huge sack, which is going to put USC in a 3rd and 11 situation. They went with the wide receiver screen. We bring him down again, and it's all going to come down to 4th and 22. Surely they don't pick this up. They don't. And from here, I can simply just run out the clock, which means I've finally completed the 16-0 season. It turns out it is possible to go undefeated with those restrictions, and it might have taken 8 seasons, but we finally get to lift the national championship trophy.